Welcome to the Pell City Podcast, another great episode, and I cannot wait to talk to some young leaders. Absolutely excited to talk to the FBLA members of Pell City High School, and we got to do a round robin and let you guys introduce yourselves, and then we'll dive into some questions and talk about all of the great things that you guys are doing. FBLA. So let's start. Whoever wants to go first.
So I'll go first. I am Austin Noakers. I'm the advisor for the group of students. I'm one of the advisors. Our other one is Monica Hartley. I'm the advisor at Pell City High School. I lead the FBLA chapter. I do a lot of other things in the high school as well. But that's just one of them.
I'm Coleman Garber. I'm the District 6 Vice President for the state of Alabama.
I'm Kason Cameron. I'm the president of Pell City FBLA.
And I'm Lucy Armstrong. I'm the Vice President of Pell City FBLA.
Awesome sauce. So FBLA, if you guys are not familiar, audience is not familiar, tell everybody what FBLA stands for and just give us kind of a brief mission statement.
Yeah, so FBLA, it's kind of crazy. It stands for Future Business Leaders of America, if you didn't know that. I don't know. But yeah, we center in business, business teaching and things like that. But something I like to tell students and things that get people a part of it is, no matter what you want to go into, FBLA can help you. If you want to be a doctor, if you want to be producer, anything, right? FBLA is a good way to help, when it comes to public speaking, managing time, any kind of leadership, because no matter where you are and what kind of field, you're going to be in a place where leadership comes into play. So a lot of people are like, oh, I'm not really interested in business and stuff, but there's always a place for it to help and things. So that's something I like to say, but we center in business.
Sweet. So what inspired you guys to get involved with FBLA?
For me, FBLA kind of inspired me to get into just FBLA in general, because back in 8th grade, it was like the first club, and I really wanted to get in FBLA and see what clubs are all about. But it started to turn into more of like a passion and kind of see where it can take me. Started joining leadership positions, gaining leadership roles and all those qualities, and it helped me get into the fun activities of competitive events and some BAAs and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I think I can speak for a lot of different people. I got an FBLA because I don't really care that much. I was trying to make my parents proud. And then as I got into it, it really, Mr. Eckers really showed that, and a lot of different clubs really showed that, this is a community and it's something to better yourself and help people around you. So I kind of fell in love with it, and the center around it, when I first came in, I was like, whatever, make my dad, mom proud. Ended up really affecting me and wanting to be better and help people around me and stuff.
Mine's kind of like that. I got an FBLA because I knew extracurriculars with clubs and stuff. It looks really good for college applications. So I started my 8th grade year trying to build up, and then I saw how many opportunities FBLA has for students, especially the more involved you get. So each year I've just gotten more involved and stepped up into a higher position as an officer.
So you guys are all leaders in FBLA. You hold Coleman, you're state position, right?
I am.
Okay. So how does that differ? Locally in Pell City, and then, how does it what kind of things are you able to get involved with on a state level?
So I've been in officer position with Pell City as well. So as a Pell City side, we handle most of our chapter stuff within Pell City. So we'll host fundraising events, community service, and stuff like that. Along with doing, for the state of Alabama, we have something called the Blueprint of Success. And that helps us with pretty much a guideline for our FBLA year. And it kind of sets us up for success within our whole nationwide. And on the state level, I'm able to kind of overview that and help run and help different chapters kind of grow in their own little way and see what different chapters kind of do within themselves.
So you guys are learning the value of networking really early.
Yes, ma'am.
And it's helping you. I mean, I want to applaud you, first of all, because, being a leader at your stage in your, advancement and stuff in life is huge, starting in high school and things. And, I'm just excited to see what happens. And one thing that I'll say is two of you have names that have alliteration, and that's really cool because they're remembered, with you having, my name is Faith Frazier, not to talk about myself, but that name, helps with with people, remembering you and remembering your name and stuff. So I mean, I want to applaud you guys for getting involved in understanding how leadership, networking, and things like that can, help you guys as you continue to dive into who you're going to become. But let me ask you this. So, you talked a little bit about Coleman, you talked a little bit about the things that you were able to get involved with locally and on a state level, but you guys just came back from a huge leadership conference, right?
Yes, ma'am.
In Cali.
Yes, ma'am.
You got to tell me about that. And then what happened that y'all were able to get upgraded to like first class? Because y'all got upgraded and just went out there and tore everybody up. So it set you up on the way from Pell City. So yeah, talk about that a little bit and how was that experience?
Let me go ahead and say that. So we had our flights out to LA, and that was supposed to be like 6:45 in the morning because the kids decided, yeah, we'll leave early. That's fine. And we had that rainstorm come through. So midnight, I get a notification on my phone. Your flights have been changed. Well, now we're leaving at 8. So that's not a big deal. But instead of our connecting flight going to Chicago, now we're going to Dallas. So our whole flights have changed. We get to the airport. Their tickets aren't showing up for some reason. I'm looking, I'm like, what are we going to do? So I look at the kids and I say, well, it's giving me the option to upgrade to first class. It's only $70. What do y'all think? And they were like, heck yeah. So that also allowed us to bypass the line for American Airlines because as you imagine, everybody's flight was disrupted. So Coleman, you will talk about riding first class?
Yes. So riding first class was kind of experience. I've flown before, but never first class. And it was a very comfortable experience. We got on the plane, we got our drinks immediately, whatever we wanted. And then we had this amazing flight attendant. She was nice. She made us laugh a lot. And we kind of just went into enjoying the flight. I wouldn't say it was a long flight. It was an hour and a half. Yeah. It was kind of easy flight just to Dallas.
Sweet, man. So this is setting you up for how how you're supposed to live later now, right?
Yes.
So you remember that no other way but first class when you're going to handle business. No other way. So let me ask y'all this. What kind of skills have you developed since being a part of the club, and how do you think that it's preparing you for your future career? And then we'll definitely talk about some of the things that y'all are interested in doing, as far as a career goes.
Yeah, for me, I'd say definitely just being comfortable around people, being comfortable speaking, being able to communicate effectively. I feel because there's a bunch of different competitive events. There's a presentation you can do, which I've never done, but basically make presentations on a bunch of different things. Oh, I guess I should backtrack. So first we have competitive events. So every year in April, there's a state conference. It's been in Mobile since, I've been a part of the club. And it can compete different things. This can be presentation. There's a bunch of different presentations you can make for different types of events. You have a role play event, which is what I've always competed in, where you act a role, whether that be, a manager of some sort or a bunch of different ones. And then the third one is, what's the third one?
Testing.
The third one, you can just take a test. I've always been role play, so it's always been off the dome kind of thing.
Okay. Like improv.
Yes.
Okay.
So my personal event I've always done is called business management, and you get a random problem, and you have to act as either a consultant or a manager or something, right? And they're coming at you with a problem, and you have to come up with a solution to that problem. And you have 10 minutes, and you have 2 note cards. So you get your event. There's a bunch of different keynotes that you have to see and solve, and then you present to the judges, and they grade you on a bunch of different things. You got to get really good at thinking off the dome, thinking on your feet. You're gonna find a question they're gonna ask, and you're gonna be like, I don't know, but you're not gonna say that. You're gonna pretend like you know. They're gonna think you know, even though you don't.
What's your go-to whenever they go to ask about it? What's your goals?
Smart goals. I make you sound smart. Simple, measurable, doable, relevant, and time bound. Right. So you just talk about that, and then they think you're smart. So talk about how your solution abides by that the most. Yeah, I mean, I feel I can communicate effectively a lot more than I could without this club. Speaking in front of people, it's not a huge deal because you're nervous, right? You have this. It's all quiet. You're writing down all your little notes and stuff, and you get in front of your judges, and it's really quiet, and they're sitting there go. So you have to think on your feet and stuff, which it's scary, but once you're uncomfortable for enough amount of times, you become comfortable. So that's something I've dedicated to this club a lot, and I always appreciate.
So how many times have you competed so far?
This is I competed 3 times. So
3 times.
Every year of high school so far.
Okay, so you're a junior.
I'm
you're
upcoming
junior.
senior.
You're upcoming senior.
Yes.
Man. Okay. What about everybody else?
So I've competed in a lot of presentations, and presentations are, I don't know, I enjoy them a lot. It's pretty much they'll give you a topic. Like this past year, I did the sales presentation, and I got to choose my own product. It could be any product. I chose the Rocket Notebook, and I created a whole presentation about it, kind of like Shark Tank, where you had to create a presentation and just sell it to the judges, and they could butt in at any moment and say the most randomest question. I had one ask about something about math, and I just went with it. And I just said some random answer, and it worked. I placed 4th in the state, and I competed at nationals. It's really fun. It's a lot of work, but it's worth it. It's worth it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be an upcoming junior in the fall, and I've actually been in FBLA since I was in 8th grade. So I've competed 3 times. Twice I've taken a test, and then once I've done a role play event. So I like test taking because it makes me feel more prepared, and I can study beforehand. And I think I've done better in my testing events. So my first year I tested, and I placed 1st in the state and then 4th nationally. And then
Wow.
the past year I placed, I think it was 10th.
Oh, so you were top 10, yeah.
I was like 10th or 9th in the state, but there were a lot of more people in my category.
53.
Yeah, there were 53 in my category, so I was one of the more populated.
You guys are you have like a wonderful opportunity, and it seems like you're already prepared to step into the ranks of the next phase of life. But curious, what do you guys want to do? Like what do you see your career aspirations being?
For me, I'm an upcoming senior, so recently I just started applying to college, and I kind of had to decide my degree or my major recently. I went for aerospace engineering. You may think FBLA is not going to help me with that, but it's helped me in a lot of ways. It's helped me develop a lot of my characteristics with my talking, speaking, my networking, and a lot of different qualities that you think wouldn't really be needed for aerospace, but it will help a lot.
Yeah, and for me, I want to go into cinematic arts and TV production, and that's kind of something, again, with going to these conferences and national conferences and things, meeting different people, it kind of makes you think bigger almost, right? Because I was always thinking, I'll be photographer, here in Pell City and stuff, but it's made me think bigger, right? Like I can be a director one day, right? So yeah, that's kind of.
I either want to be a CRNA or an anesthesiologist, which FBLA has helped me with, even though it's not like a medical club, it's helped me with a lot because in both of those careers, or even in my college career, I'll be in a professional environment, and FBLA has exposed me to those types of environments where I can interact with people and socialize and network and really help my public speaking skills, where I'm not as keep to myself, where I can speak louder and project more. So even though I'm not technically going into a business career, business is everywhere, and you need to have those to be professional and know what you need for each environment.
Very diverse interests and skill sets that it all works together. So Austin, for you, question would be, how important do you think it is for students to, mix and network with other students and, the general marketplace and everything with diverse interests? And then what would you say to encourage other students to be interested in, FBLA and the opportunities that are presented through FBLA?
So for the networking and diverse interest, what's really neat is a lot of this, so FBLA is considered a CTSO, a career tech student organization, completely ran by students. Me and the other advisor will sometimes step in, but most of this is all ran by students. And what's interesting is a lot of them, you have to be in those classes. And what's nice about FBLA is you don't have to be a business student to be in FBLA. And that's what creates this whole, diverse network. I mean, none of them said, I want to be a big CEO or an account executive.
Right.
And I think what's neat is, it brings in this whole, as Lucy said, business is overreaching. It goes into everything. And I'll bring that up in my classes too, that, business is part of everything. A school runs like a business. McDonald's runs like a business. Everything you see business. And I think it's really good for these kids to see this because they're going to run into people who they don't expect that are willing to do certain things. Like there was a student my first year that placed the political science test, and he was about to go to Yale on a full ride scholarship to study political science and become a lawyer. You wouldn't expect it. The second place guy was going for a healthcare career, but second place. And it lets them see what they can do, can't do. That's big. Something neat as well is FBLA also extends to the collegiate. And at the collegiate level, it's the same thing. You don't have to be a business major. I think it's a good way to make it where you can open up and see, what the possibilities are. Or, as Kaysen said, he originally was like, I'll just be a regular just photographer, do some stuff locally. After seeing what the national scale is like, it opens your eyes. So for me to tell students, seeing your possibilities, seeing where you can go with FBLA, and a lot of our other organizations here as well do the same thing. Something else we focus on with FBLA that we were talking about earlier, skills and stuff. This year we want to create workshops. So telling students, maybe you don't like meeting people, but we can work into that. We can do these workshops where you can learn to, introductions, handshakes, public speaking.
That's pretty dope. As far as you talked about workshops and things like that. Are there any opportunities for mentors to help businesses, especially locally, to, help assist with, some of those workshops or classes or extending, opportunities to be ingrained in some of the things that they are doing? And would you guys like, that to happen? What can the community do to help you guys be more successful and have exposure to other opportunities?
Okay, so you want to talk about our partnership with the Chamber?
Yeah, so much like other organizations, we kind of are partnering with the Chamber of Commerce because, they're a business, which is crazy, right? Future business leaders of America can connect with current business leaders. Kind of crazy, isn't it? How crazy idea. But yeah, we're partnering with them, and we're trying to help them what they would need and things like that, but also get involved with current businesses in Pell City because a lot of businesses that are part of the Chamber of Commerce are businesses that are more community focused and stuff like that. So we've had people in here talk about their business and how they run things and insights they've had. And we plan to do that in the future as well, and try to get diverse as well. I would love to get some of the doctors and stuff from Pell City in here, and all the way to study the Chamber of Commerce list, but try to get as many from blue collar to white collar, right? To talk about what they're doing and how they're running things and any insight they might have. And that's a big opportunity that the Chamber of Commerce is. And staying in contact with them is always good because we're actually going to their lunch on the 7th, so Thursday. We're going to their lunch and things.
I need to make sure that I'm there so I can meet you guys in person. Yeah. Urana she was actually on the first episode, and man, you talking about brilliant. But the cool thing about her was that she has been involved in a bunch of stuff. So she's not only a very good resource, but she leads the chamber and everything. The main thing is she loves Pell City, and the opportunities that she's been able to be a part of and bring to the city and expose them and stuff is really, really cool. But let me ask you this: as far as there's a lot of growth, and that's one thing that I'm learning and being a Pell City and seeing all of the growth that has happened since I was in high school at Pell City has just blown my mind. So, you guys are seeing the dreams that we had, you're realizing the dreams that we had for our city. So the growth has just been phenomenal. And one of my, I guess, wish list things is to see, a retention of students, coming from Pell City High School and immediately making an impact in the local economic growth and development of Pell City. So not saying that you don't leave, but you don't leave because you can make a direct impact right where you come from. Is that important to you guys? And what would you say are some of the things that, would help you guys to maybe consider doing something like that and remaining in Pell City to be a future leader of Pell City?
So for me, I feel like one way to kind of open those opportunities up for the Pell City students is kind of just advertise those opportunities. Like if there's internships that are in Pell City, we would like to advertise those. We would like to know the businesses that are trying to reach out to students, know the internship possibilities for students to learn, because there's a bunch of students that are in FBLA that want to work with these small businesses and learn the way they run. We don't know the internship possibilities, and a lot of us only work part-time, so we can't really get into those full-time businesses.
And I'm going to add to what he said there. What's really interesting in our area is very heavy manufacturing, very heavy culture. And that is somewhere that we kind of do struggle with, at least, the business aspect is like so another position I have at the high school is I do the work-based learning. So the kids that leave and go out to work, their ideal placement is something they want to do, something, an internship that they can get experience. But where we run into is like I'll have a lot of conversations, and I'm not down in welding. Welding is something we need. It's great, but they always want students to weld, and that's where we run into an issue. It's like, well, I'll have kids who might want to work in the office, maybe accountants and stuff like that. Well, we're looking for welders. That's what we run into. I'll let y'all add to his answer.
Yeah, making an impact in Pell City is very important, and through Chamber of Commerce, right, they make different impacts in much different areas. And opening these opportunities to students through these different jobs and things, they might find something they might not know they're interested in, and they might go into that and become successful within Pell City. Because Pell City, something, especially the high school, right? Because I've been here now, is the vast opportunities we have. There's nothing that you can. That's what I'm looking for. There's nothing that you can be interested in or want to go into within Pell City, and there's no option for you. There's always something within Pell City in every single field. That's something I hope FBLA can even offer even more to its members is, through the Chamber of Commerce connections, there's even more vast opportunities that we can offer. And even if it's something that you might not think you like at the moment, you look into it, we have people in here speaking and talking about their impact and their roles and things. And maybe that if we can inspire one person to be like, maybe that's for me. And they try it out and end up becoming the greatest of all time at it,
Lucy?
I think
putting you on the spot.
really just showing our students that we have opportunities to give them and we have connections with businesses throughout Pell City. And it's not something that they have to do necessarily on their own. And they're joining FBLA, or if they're already a member, like we can connect them with the chamber, or we can connect them with the small businesses or the businesses throughout Pell City to either find what they're interested in or learn more about what they're interested in.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm trying to think what I was involved. This has been so long ago, and it's longer when I really think about it. But like being involved in SGA when I was in high school really, kind of prepared me in some of the ways that you guys are being prepared. And then, kind of what I see now, having lived a little bit and can take a step back and kind of get a full picture of what's going on in the world. You guys want to go into careers and everything, but the opportunities to see how entrepreneurship could assist you too is very vital to you becoming a well-rounded leader in everything. So let me ask you this. What advice would you give about learning who you are through FBLA and being participating in a club that you would give to someone else, and another student who is a lower classman that aspires to be a future leader too? What kind of things would you say to them?
Something like I've kind of told some of the freshmen recently is that there's so many opportunities in the high school. High school is not something you want to waste. It's something you just got to go for it, and joining these extracurriculars, clubs, organizations, stuff like that, you just got to go for it. Going those leadership positions, you just got to go for it. I've never really would have thought I would be in a state officer position until I just went for it. And then I noticed that like a lot of people are kind of rooting for me, and it's kind of good. You feel the support from everybody, and you may not notice it right then, but you'll see it.
How does that, you speaking of that support, how important is that?
It's important because you feel alone when running for stuff just out of nowhere, but there's there may be competition, but there's people rooting for your parents, your family, everybody may be rooting for you, but you just don't know because they're not communicating, which that's fine. They don't got to spread it, but they just knowing that they're there and just believing in yourself, you can do it.
Yeah, and something I like to tell really any, as an underclassman or younger and even older too, like just because you're in 11th grade doesn't mean you can't decide to join a club or even 12th grade, But the biggest thing I like to, like, this is what I was saying, freshman orientation is you talk to people that, that's graduating and stuff and like, oh, I didn't like high school. I had a bad high school experience. If you go to high school and you go to your core classes and you go home, you're not going to like high school, right? No one likes sitting in class doing math.
Right.
Maybe someone, but most people, if you go to class and go home, you're probably not gonna have a good time within high school. And it's really the extracurriculars and the people you meet within that make high school, worth it and make an impact on you. Like I would not be anything I am today without it. That includes all the organizations and like I dedicate everything to it, right? And the people, it just takes one person to really inspire you to want to just do a little bit more, right? And then you get to see the impact you're making so quickly that it fulfills you. You go to bed at night and you're like, I'm happy. You made an impact, you better yourself and others. So.
And I'm going to add on to how he said, like, it's never too late for someone to get involved and join. There's about every single year I take at least one senior that has never been to FBLA state conference. Their immediate thing they say is, oh my gosh, I wish I would have been involved sooner.
Oh,
this
wow.
is so cool. So for me, my message would be, to anybody, get involved as soon as you can and stay involved. That's the best, you're missing out on so much time that you're not going to get back once you graduate.
Yeah, I agree with all of them. Being involved is definitely the most important part and my biggest piece of advice I could give to anybody. Because yes, while our core classes and our classes are important for us graduating and we do learn a lot in them, being involved is like what makes high school high school. I think being in extracurriculars and being in clubs and being in sports and going to games and being involved in student life is like really what can make your like high school years great and what can make it like fun and not just I have to sit through a math class or I have to sit through an English class. I need to write a paper. Because like yes, we need to do those things, but like being involved is like where you can actually learn more. Things like networking and public speaking, and some of those things just can't always be found in the classroom. And clubs like FBLA give you opportunities to learn those.
And it kind of helps you to like see what you're good at too, like really early on. So it's like, man, I'm succeeding in this area, so hey, it might be something here. So I might choose this when I thought that I was going to do something like this, but that's pretty dope. So one thing I want to know, what kind of projects do you guys have that you're excited about for the upcoming school year?
Yeah, so something I really like and really enjoy is our workshops. So our meetings are always in the morning in this room.
Before school?
Yes. 7:20.
What?
So it's not that much earlier. It's really not.
Wait. What's not that much early? Like what's
So school starts at you have to be in your class by 7:55 and our meetings start at 7:20.
Okay,
So,
that's not bad.
yeah,
That's not bad.
But you get donuts, so it's okay. You get donuts.
Not bad.
But yeah, so what we're doing after school on this is the second Wednesday of each month. After school, we're always hosting these workshops. We're a business club, so we want to bring in people, not only his expertise, because not all of us are experts in certain things. So our first one is in sales, and that's in October. Our October meeting that afternoon, we're going to talk about sales and things. And I would love for future ones to bring in people that are experts in the field within Pell City. Talk to your aunt and be like, hey, who is in, I can't think of, but another one we have, and be like, hey, Miss Urana, who's has this opportunity? Who's an expert in this? If so, I'd love to bring them in. And we also want to have rotations and stuff. So we might have more than one subject within these workshops and stuff. And the biggest thing I really like is not only FBLA members can come to this. This is put on by FBLA and hosted by FBLA, but anyone in the entire school can come in and know how to really write a resume. And that's something that it was in my freshman year, my 10th grade year, that we hosted a workshop about resume building with Ms. Kaler. And, I never really thought about it until I wrote my resume with Ms. Kaler, and I added everything that I could think of that I've, won in leadership until that point. And I've only added on to it since then. And now if I'm a senior and I'm applying to colleges and stuff like that, if I would have just now be writing my resume, there's tons of things that I'd be forgetting and not having, and it'd be just too much. So having these workshops and things available to everyone, and hopefully someone can come in to one of these workshops and be like, you know what, I kind of like this. Maybe I'll join FBLA now. And then they come to conference, and then, all from this one resume workshop that they went to in October, right, December, then they want to go to conference in April, and that inspires them to run for they might be a freshman. They want to run for president their 10th grade year, and then they're like, I really like this. I'm really good at this leadership thing, and they run for international president or national president or whatever. So it's the small things that, like, once the ball gets rolling, it's like full steam ahead downhill, and hopefully we can inspire and do that, and you learn things. Let's learn something you didn't know before.
Are you guys like incorporating and learning about like AI technology and some of the I guess advantages of using AI?
In some ways, we are.
In some way?
But we, like, when we do these projects, I know for some of the tests, we'll kind of like get them to create mock tests for us. So that way we have something to kind of use for like practice. For like presentations or role plays, you may get them to create scenarios or pop-up questions or some random like easy questions that you don't really would think of, or some prompts and stuff like that.
I'm really excited about meeting you guys, as I said before, because you have, the greatest opportunity now. And I see that, Pell City is producing some awesome people. And, just the fact that you guys are getting a chance to get exposed to not only networking opportunities, but traveling and meeting people and all. I think it's just, commendable that you're already involved in what it's going to look like for you in the future. It happens so quickly. High school goes by so fast, and then the next thing you're like 40. And, you're talking to young folks about, what it used to be like. So, I think it's just like so cool to meet you and to see who, could possibly give me a job one day or give my kids or something a job one day. So thank you so much for being here and being present, and just kudos to what you guys are doing. And I would love to, be a resource and be a help and, to be a sounding board or whatever for you guys if you need me, because the Pell City Podcast is not only about exposing our community and the surrounding counties about the great place that we come from, but also the opportunity to meet some of the personalities and the people that make our place great. And so I'm so happy to know that Pell City is in good hands, and y'all are doing great things, and you have a wonderful mentor and somebody that you can look up to with Austin. And I just think it's great. One last question for you guys would be wish list opportunity, right? Wish list opportunity for what you would like to accomplish with FBLA before you, and that would give you an opportunity to leave your stamp on Pell City High School before you graduate. What would that be?
For me, I kind of bring this up a lot, but some people hate hearing me say it. But my freshman year, there was a wonderful man named Tyshawn Caldwell.
Okay.
He was the first person to really show what leadership is to me, and I dedicate a lot of my success to him. Because I came in, I was in other clubs in 8th grade and stuff, but I never really felt connected, never really felt heard, never really felt cared about. I mean, he was the first person to really show what a leadership is and show what caring is like and show what helping people is like and leaving a true legacy. Because he's who motivated me to run for different offices. And it's like, when I didn't have faith in myself, he was like, what's the reason why you can't? Like he asked the right questions. Like, I would be wondering something or be like, or write it off instantly. And he'd be like, but why not though? And it's just a simple question, but it's forgotten about and it's never really thought about. And once he kind of opened my mind, expanded my mind into thinking like what the capability is of someone that, came from something that they thought they would never be. And if I can be someone else's Tyshawn Caldwell, that's what I want to be. If you could just be one more person, it would be all worth it, to motivate one person to become something great. That would be my take.
Shout out to Tyshawn. Where is he now?
He goes to Troy. He just came back from Hawaii. We might still be in Hawaii. I don't know. Yeah, I'm jealous. He's posting him in Hawaii. But
man, you've been close. You've been to Cali, so you've been close. So you'll get there. You'll get there.
But yeah, he goes to Troy University right now.
Okay. All right.
Still being great over there.
Oh yeah, no doubt. All right, Lucy, what you got?
I think the biggest thing I want everybody at the high school who wants to have the opportunity to be involved with FBLA to know that they have that opportunity. Because I think with, like, a lot of times people will just disregard it because they think it's too much or it's like too much work or they just don't think that they can, as in Kason was saying. And I just think there's like, it's not a big step. Like you don't have to go straight to president, but you can start at like a smaller like secretary position and then you can build your way up to being president of a club, or you could start as a member your freshman year and build your way up. So it doesn't have to be like a big step. Like you don't walk in and just become president, obviously. Like Kason just didn't become president overnight. He worked there. So like it's just a work in progress and showing everybody that anybody has that opportunity and it's never too late to be involved and make a difference in every club.
So for me, I want to like show people kind of what Lucy said. I want to show people the opportunity FBLA has. I want to get those internships out. I want to get the opportunity to partner with the businesses, get into know those businesses and see how they function on the back end. I work at a small business in Pell City, and I've got to see the struggles and the hardships of business owners. And it's kind of opened me up to like the small businesses and see how they work as well. And I talk to a lot of businesses, owners and everything, and it's cool to see their perspective on it. And I would like for them to like kind of open up to our side and like get us to go, more students to go into those businesses and see how they work as well. And I want for the kids in here to like freshmen and everything to see those opportunities that FBLA has. Like if I knew that state officer was this enjoyable, I probably would have ran for it earlier and up to the national level. So I'm kind of just pushing that out to everybody and hoping they can take it the way they will.
So we're doing a push right now for membership. How many active members do you have in the club now?
I mean, if you look at last year, so we've just begun the new membership year. It starts over every year.
Okay.
Last year we probably had about maybe 60 paid members. And I think we found about 40 of them were active.
Yeah.
Is that about right?
Wow.
And then
That's like, there's your pool, Pell City business owners, leaders. There's your pool of talent right there.
we took
Coming straight
20
up Pell City High.
We took 20 of the 40 to state conference, so that's pretty good.
Wow. That's pretty awesome. Well, you guys, thank you so much. Once again, you got to give your name, the year you are in school, your future aspiration, and then if you guys are on social, how can people link with you and stay active and see what you guys are doing? Because I think it's just awesome. I really do.
So I'm Coleman Carver, an upcoming senior this upcoming year, and I'm the District 6 Vice President. If y'all would like to follow along my journey as a District 6 Vice President, you can follow me on Instagram as colemanc.fbla.
And I'm Kason Cameron. I am this chapter's club president, and you can find me pretty much anywhere. Kason_Cameron. That's CASEN, the right way to spell it. There you go.
Lucy Armstrong, and I am this chapter's vice president, and I'll be a junior in the fall. And you can find me on Instagram. I think it's Lucy Nicole, but it's weird.
So you don't use Instagram, I'm hearing, right? No Instagram for you, Lucy? Not
I
really?
use Instagram. I just don't know my username.
Okay. You got a rapid fire on that. Just rapid fire. Just be ready to go with that. Austin, what about you?
And then I'm Austin Noakers. I'm one of the advisors. My other advisor is Monica Hartley. Collective, we are all on Pell City FBLA, Facebook and Instagram.
Sweet. Well, I'm gonna make my way to visit you guys, and I'm just looking forward to seeing the great things that you are doing, and I just think it's dope that you're already winning competitions and you killing it. And you representing Pell City, right? Because we have a great place. It's some great people, and you guys are going to be a part of making the history of Pell City. So looking back years from now, people are going to know your names, and I just think it's just awesome. So thank you so much for being a part of the podcast, and now the podcast family, and telling everybody what good things are coming out of Pell City. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
This episode of the Pell City Podcast is brought to you by networkwithexperts.com. Log on now and grab the Content Marketing Essentials bundle today. Thanks for watching.